Hello and welcome to Zagora in Morocco for day 6 of the Estoril Portimão Marraquexe rally. Round 3 of the 2010 FA Rally Raid World Tour nears its end, and in the last 2 days alone we've seen nearly 700 kilometres of special stages. But it's not over yet, and neither category is decided, with the cars seeing an especially tight battle for the lead. Today we'll be looking at action from the 6th leg moving south towards Zagora, but before that, a roundup of what's happened so far. So leg 1 saw Felipe Campos on roads he knows very well extend his lead every day and on every stage, while his main rival Leonard Levitsky struggled in the narrow roads. In the bikes, Helder Rodriguez made a perfect start, and his compatriot Paulo Goncalves lost time with 2 punctures. Leg 2. Miguel Barbosa from Portugal. His challenge finished very early on. He blew the engine on his Mitsubishi Lancer and took a 96-hour penalty to change it. On the bikes, motocross star Luis Correa surprised everyone with his debut on Rally Raid with 2 stage wins and a staggering pace, but unfortunately some of it was through a restricted zone and he picked up a big penalty for speeding. Leg 3, Eric Vigouroux in the Chevrolet Trophy truck had planned to change the gearbox before the first Moroccan stage. Unfortunately for him, that was too late. It broke 20 kilometres before the end of stage 3 and he changed it in a petrol station on the way to the ferry. In the bikes, Mario Petre on the Suzuki wins the leg riding flat out before realising everybody else was playing tactics and didn't want to open the road in Africa. Leg 4 saw Leonard Levitsky take the first Moroccan stage, the first taste of proper rally raid, and he was on a mission to get back into the lead. David Casto moved into the lead on the bikes with a stunning run on the carbon Sherco machine. Yesterday's leg 5, the longest stage of the rally so far, saw poor old Eric van Loon in the Mitsubishi Lancer have a dreadful day. Nothing went right for the Dutchman. He got stuck in deep sand, horribly lost, and found the bodywork of his Lancer was catching even more in the dunes and delaying his progress further. Helder Olivier in the Nissan Pathfinder struggled with a maximum speed of 155 kilometres an hour, and despite his experience in Morocco, also got stuck in the sand. Leonard Levitsky, happy with everything, though expected larger dunes, he'd lowered his tyre pressures too far and he punctured. Felipe Campos and his co-driver, on the other hand, both adapted brilliantly to the raid conditions and were surprised to finish second and hold the lead. In the bikes, Jose Manuel Pelica on the Yamaha had problems with navigation but was happy to be riding again. This is his first rally since an injury on the Dakar and he just wants to finish. David Casto on the Sherco took a 20-kilometre detour after condensation made his GPS and trip meter useless and he dropped to second. Frans Verhoeven had a leaking fuel tank and he fixed it with a sock. Rode hard to make up the time. Paulo Goncalves won the stage and he loved the sand dunes with great onboard shots from his helmet cam. Helder Rodriguez felt he should have won the stage, but he broke his foot brake and his trip and was glad to retake the lead anyway. So on to today, the 6th leg of 8 legs overall, which total 3,900 kilometres and 1,800 kilometres of special stages. We have a liaison of 84 kilometres, then a 337 kilometre special stage and a short 20 kilometre run into Zagora. A wide variety of surfaces along the Algerian border with dried rivers, twisty roads and some dunes towards the end of the stage near Tartiflette. It's the second longest stage of the rally, but it's one of the competitors' favourites. On to the cars. Leg 6, special stage 9. Helder Oliveira was the biggest news of the day, and it wasn't good news, I'm afraid. After nearly 6 months out of the car and running on an already limited budget, shortly before checkpoint 2, Oliveira lost control of the car over a series of bumps, and they rolled heavily. It was the end of their rally, but luckily both crews, although they were battered and bruised, are okay, but very disappointed.
It's a very fast track. We came with a good pace, always in 6th gear, and there were some bumps. In the first bump, the car has some problems, and when we arrived in the second and the third, we made like that a lot of times. We came about 140 kilometers an hour, and now the car has a lot of problems.
So not a good day for poor old Oliveira. A better day for Barbosa, but only just. No big shunt for him. Blew a turbo and had to stop before checkpoint 2. His assistance truck has gone looking for him. If they can fix the problem overnight, they'll continue. But of course they're running with enormous penalties from a previous engine change already. Better condition than Oliveira's car though. Lino Calapetta in the Bowler Wildcat was the fastest bowler again today, with the 8th quickest time overall on the stage. Unfortunately, he's got a 100-hour penalty for missing an earlier leg 2 with a technical problem, and they lie last in the standings. Bernardo Moniz de Maia in the BMW X3 continues his desert learning curve and had a steady day in what he described as difficult conditions. He lost a little bit of time, but he's not too concerned. He was happy to be 7th quickest on the day and 5th overall on his first visit to Morocco and his first time in the sand. Frenchman Gerard Benielli in the MCM buggy was the best of the small teams. They've been slowly moving up through the rankings until yesterday, when unfortunately they punctured on the liaison before the stage and took a 20-minute penalty for arriving late at the start. They then lost 52 minutes, 12 kilometres in, when they got stuck in a sand dune and broke the hydraulic lift, which is designed to get the car out of the deep sand if it gets stuck.
So
Didier Hackett, the co-driver, says there's a wonderful landscape but a hard terrain to navigate with. If you're sharp with the road book and everything goes well, I have a chance to have the driver reduce the pace when I'm not sharp, so it works for us. Actually, I believe the buggy fits every terrain, but maybe not the driver. I just need to be used to it again. At the moment, I have a lack of experience, especially in the stand, and yesterday I made a mistake which cost us an hour, but that's rally raid and today was perfect. Ricardo Leo dos Santos in the bigger BMW X5 has decided that he can't catch the BMW X3s in front. He had a problem-free run today and hopes it will continue all the way to the end. Absolutely flat out through very tricky sandy dunes here, incredibly easy to get caught out and pitch the car over like poor old Oliveira did. As he says, anything can happen to the cars in front, and he's just hanging in there in case it does. Felipe Campos had a few problems today, but holds onto the lead by the skin of his teeth. He stopped to change a slow puncture, had engine overheating issues and lost 4th gear, but despite all of this he holds onto the lead by just 14 seconds from Nowitzki. He knows his chance of winning is slim, but he's enjoying the experience and he has a good pace, so he's very happy. Yes, I've no experience at all. It's the first time I'm doing rally raid in Morocco, but whatever. I'm very happy because I'm still in the lead, even for only 14 seconds. Today the stage was difficult, but we didn't have any navigation problems. Only slight problems with the car, with the heat, was overheating, so we reduced the speed to the finish with no problems, but I'm happy, and we'll see tomorrow what happens with the overall standings. Erik van Loon had a much better day. For the first time on the rally, he had no problems at all, and his change of luck saw him go third fastest on the stage. He moves up to 7th overall and continues to be impressed with his fantastic new Mitsubishi Lancer's pace as he touched 180 kilometers an hour today. If it hadn't been for his earlier time penalties in the rally, Van Loon could have been a real threat to the overall classification.
Incredible fast. We were doing 183, so you can imagine.
Last night we discussed and say, well, I have to give an indication when I need some more time, and if I'm sure that we picked the right route, and give the sign for full attack, and here it goes full attack again. So it's a mix of styles, and it turned out for the best today.
I just looked in the road book for tomorrow, and they even have 1.5 hour less for the stage, so that means that it is quicker than today. I hardly can imagine. And there were some really critical points, like we were doing at one point. We had a moment that we were doing more than 170 k's, and suddenly there was a very steep dip and bump, so we were lucky there. So I don't know what tomorrow brings, but if we keep this pace, it's the right pace for us, so we can keep on with navigation and still drive it safely.
Russian Leonard Novitsky was again using experience from the FIA World Cross Country Championship, which he currently leads, to try and chase down leader Philippe Campos. He thought he could take the lead today. He took 10 minutes off Campos and 6 minutes off him respectively on the first 2 stages in Morocco, but it wasn't to be. He got a little bit lost and had 2 punctures. Without these problems, he might have won the stage, and he had a bit of a battle on the stage anyway with some of the other competitors. A bit of touring car style door handling with Eric Vigoureau in the Chevrolet trophy truck.
Yeah,
with a good stage, very fast, but not able to catch Philippe. The car is good, again, but we had a puncture, and yes, we were lost, but not for so long. And we hope we can take the lead tomorrow. So Eric Vigoureau in the Chevrolet trophy truck finally today, without any technical problems, had the perfect stage. Maximum attack with perfect navigation from his co-driver, and he won. Concentrated very hard not to have a puncture after the sand dunes. And what a great drive. This morning we put Warriors paint on our faces, so we're not surprised to win the stage.
On a vu qu'il y avait beaucoup de navigation, c'était compliqué.
It's always like that when we wear Warriors paints.
Et du coup, on a pris l'avantage, on est remonté sur les BMW, on était juste derrière eux. Après, ils ont repris un petit peu de large.
And we are very happy.
Et puis, il y a eu la partie sableuse et caillouteuse, où là, on a roulé très proprement, on était très sage dans les cailloux. Ça a payé puisque Novitsky a crevé devant nous. Et là, on a réussi à le ramarrer et à finir 2 minutes devant lui, je crois, à la fin de la spéciale.
So overall, Vigoureau takes the stage in the Chevrolet, Novitsky in the BMW in second, Van Loon, Campos and Leal dos Santos. 3 BMWs in the top 5 and 2 in the top 2. Campos hanging on by the tiniest of margins with a 14-second lead over Novitsky, who will surely try again tomorrow to take the lead. So join us after the break with some spectacular action from the bikes. We'll see you in a minute.
For you to experience the greatest race in the world, Eurosport goes 24. From scrutineering to the podium, get set to live a full week of Motormania. Day by day, get to the heart of Le Mans with the magazine 24 Minutes, live right throughout the week. And And you won't miss a second of the big duel between Audi and Peugeot, because the race is live, non-stop, on Saturday and Sunday. The Le Mans 24-hour race, starting Saturday, 14:15 on Eurosport and 1600 on Eurosport 2, live, all the way.
Share all the passion of the Le Mans 24 hours with Total Quartz Eneo Lubricants.
Mitchell, partner of endurance racing, and Mitchell and Green X Challenge.
World Cup 2010. Got football fever? Well, you can follow every match live, along with results, stats and analysis, all at eurosport.yahoo.com.
Get Age of Empires 3, World Series of Poker or Doodle Jump now. Just send the keyword of your favourite game to the number next to your country's flag and join the Jumbo subscription now.
Heb je een Nederlands nummer? SMS dan euro met de bijbehorende code naar 4636.
Para España solo tienes que enviar euro y el número que elijas al 35235.
For Norge, send euro og nummeret til 2125.
So on to leg 6 and the bikes, and another very tough day for the riders. Second longest stage of the event. A lot more sand and trouble for some of those who were inexperienced in the conditions. Megra, Correa and Pellica all got stuck in the sand, and it was a very, very tough day for the bikers. A sandstorm later in the day caught out some of the late runners, and the dunes were incredibly soft. Tricky conditions for some of these guys who come from motocross and enduro background and just haven't ridden on the dunes before. Can't recognise the different softness of the sand. Changes through the day as it dries out in the sun, and it's incredibly physical for these guys to get their bikes back up and carry on riding. Spanish rider Cesar Valcarel, very happy about his stage, finished with the 7th fastest time, but most important for him was to continue his learning curve on the rally rate with the dunes.
For the first places, maybe, you know, they are too busy going fast, but for us, for the amateurs that we come here to enjoy it, I mean, every time we see anyone with problems, we stop and check it out.
Mario Petreo, on the only Suzuki left in the event, got very lost today with Luis Correa. The two guys, one from an endurance background and one from a motocross background, almost took a 40-kilometre shortcut. They were going to give up and just straight line it to the next checkpoint that they could find, but they would have missed the refuelling zone if they'd done it. The learning curve continues for them.
It's my
first time in Africa. Everything's different. Tracks, sand, dunes, all of that. Nothing I've ever faced in motocross. I tried to manage on the sand, but it's not easy because everything in the rally is new for me. Even the people and the country. Normally I would go faster than that on the sand, but I've kept a safety margin. My main goal now is I want to finish with the bike in one piece. Frans Verhoeven on the BMW ran out of fuel close to checkpoint 1. He was very fast in the final part of the stage and still manages the 5th fastest time of the day, even after losing an hour and 39. That's how severe it was for some of the other riders. They lost even more time than that. Still a good bit of time for a showboat though.
just before the CP2, about a few kilometers, I think 15 kilometers before the CP2, where we had a refueling. I ran out of fuel, and we're racing. We are normally racing with a good European fuel, and now we put the poor 80 or 85 octane Moroccan fuel in. And there's a big difference in the injection system, because while the fuel is so poor, it has to pump in much more, and the bike is consuming more. So I just missed about 1.5 liters to arrive on CP2, so I lost a lot of time waiting there for the helicopter first bringing me some water, and then I was lucky. Some guy from Spain, the number 117, stopped and gave me 1.5 liters, which was enough to reach the CP2, and after that I could go on and go to the finish.
Cesar Valcasel coming to his rescue. David Casto on the Sherco changed the engine last night. Standard procedure, standard Dakar procedure for them to change the engine after that amount of miles, but unfortunately this morning he lost his exhaust. Lost 28 minutes and thinks he's finished for the victory.
Aujourd'hui c'est marrant parce que je suis parti le dernier moteur.
That was good fun today.
J'ai doublé personne.
I restarted last after my exhaust.
J'ai l'impression de faire
I never overtook anyone, no one at all. It seems I was all alone on the rally because I'm good with navigation. I keep the bearings very well and I find the waypoints without a problem. But it's expected because I've worked very hard on that. Sadly this morning we started only 3 kilometers from my training camp in Morocco, so I was sure I was very angry not to win the stage. I really wanted to win the stage, but I didn't. So tomorrow there's a stage with 100% sand, and it will be hard, but I will try. So the battle continues in the bikes. Join us after this commercial break, and we'll run through the top riders and let you know who's leading. See you in a couple of minutes.
For you to experience the greatest race in the world, Eurosport goes 24. From scrutineering to the podium, get set to live a full week of Motormania. Day by day, get to the heart of Le Mans with the magazine 24 Minutes, live right throughout the week. And you won't miss a second of the big duel between Audi and Peugeot, because the race is live non-stop on Saturday and Sunday. The Le Mans 24-hour race, starting Saturday, 14:15 on Eurosport and 1600 on Eurosport 2, live all the way.
Share all the passion of the Le Mans 24 hours with Total Quartz Eneo Lubricants.
Mitchell, partner of endurance racing, Mitchell and Green X Challenge.
Download EA FIFA 2010 on your mobile. Just send Euro 6 to the number next to your flag and join the Jamba subscription.
Voor Nederland stuur je Euro 6 naar 4636.
Suomesta tekstaat Euro 6 numeroon 1730.